Hello, this is Vicky back with another video, and today we are making my Himalayan rose cold process soap. So let's check it out. So at this point I have already measured out all of my hard butters, and I am proceeding to make my lye water. First things first, you have to measure out your distilled water, always distilled when you're making products. And then I'm going to measure out my sodium hydroxide, aka lye. You want to be very careful when you're making the lye water because it is caustic and it will burn you. So just make sure you have on your gloves, your protective eyewear, something to cover your arms. I don't have anything in this video, but I've been making soap for a while. Doesn't give me an excuse, but still, just make sure you wear your protective gear. So again, I am just measuring out my lye, and then I am going to take my lye and pour that directly into my water. At this point, it gets really hot. So just make sure once you pour it in there that you take it to another room just so it can ventilate for just a few minutes. We are using the heat transfer method today, so we don't want it to cool down too much because it has to be hot enough to melt our hard butters. So we let the room and the lye water air out a little bit, and now I'm going to add my lye water to the hard butters. And again, we're using the heat transfer method, and this method means you're pouring your hot lye water directly onto your butters to melt them. I like to use this method because it just cuts down time a little bit. The other method that you would use would be to take all of your butters and heat them up in like a double boiler or in a crock pot beforehand, and then once everything is melted, you would blend that with your lye water, which, like I said, that would add like maybe an extra 20-30 minutes because you have to wait for the hard butters to melt. Now that my hard butters are fully melted, I'm going to go ahead and add my liquid oil, and in this recipe it's going to be olive oil, so you're going to see me adding that next. Now that the liquid oil has been added, it is time to grab the stick blender and start blending. We're going to blend it. We want to make sure everything is fully emulsified. We don't want anything separating. So we're just going to do this until everything is blended and then we see a light trace. Okay, now it's time to separate the soap batter so that we can add our colors. I'm making the Himalayan rose soap today, so that's going to be white and then 2 shades of pink. The first shade of pink will come from rose kaolin clay, and the second shade of pink will be a pink colored mica. So here you can see me adding the pink Callan clay, and then you'll see me adding the pink mica. It says it's like a Mai Tai orange mica, but it's not orange. As you can see, it's pink. So that's what I'm adding for my other color. So when adding the colors, I try to hand mix them because using the stick blender usually mixes it up too much. So then it starts to get really, really thick very fast. So as you can see, I am working my arm here, putting in a lot of work, and I am mixing these things up at super speed. Now it is time for the pour, and today I'm going to be doing a hanger swirl. So that's why I did not want my soap to get too thick, because then I won't be able to get the swirls that I'm looking for. So I'm just kind of stacking the colors. I used the rose clay first, now I'm using the pink, and then I'm going to come back along with the white, and I'm just going to do this until I have all the molds completely filled up to the top. Okay, so it is time for the hanger swirl, and I'm assuming they call it a hanger swirl because people usually use a hanger, but I'm using this sort of like bendy straw because it works for me. It's easy for me to just stick it in there, and then I just swoop. You just want to just take it around the bottom and pull it up just a couple of times. You don't want to do it too much because then the swirls will get muddy. But yep, that's it. That's all you have to do for the hanger swirl. So now I'm designing my top here. I put some little splatters on here, and now I'm just going down, just doing kind of like an infinity symbol just to mix the colors together but not to muddy them up. And that's my first design for the soap top, and then I'll add some other things to it, as you will see in a minute. This is the Himalayan rose soap, so of course I had to add some pink Himalayan sea salt to the top of my soap, along with some dried rose petals just to top it off, kind of like the icing on the cake. It makes all the colors pop, and it just looks so pretty. for the cuts, and I like it. The swirls look really good. They came out really nicely. Now the color isn't as bright as it could be because I did not let the soap go through a gel phase, which is when the soap gets really hot in the mold and it can promote like a more vivid and brighter color. But I did not want that to happen with the soap. The soap was getting too hot. It was starting to crack at the top, so I put it in the refrigerator for a little while, but it still looks lovely. I am in love with the swirls and it smells delightful. And on that note, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe because we have more videos like this on the way. Again, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.